We are happy to be commemorating 25th anniversary with the level of development that we have seen today, and we hope to continue growing from strength to strength.
We're live from the capital, Gaborone. This is BTV News at 9 o'clock. I am Khomotso Mapani. Let's take a look at the headlines. Government intensifies security at the Botswana-Zimbabwe borderline in the Bubira region. Delays in the completion of the Tsabung Abattoir worries Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Agriculture. And in sport, preparations for the finals of the Orange FA Cup are slated for the weekend, going as planned. Interpreting in sign language is Topo Taposa. Good evening. The President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, will hold a meeting with the President of the Republic of Angola, who is also the SADC chairperson, Mr. João Lourenço, tomorrow in Gaborone. President Lourenço is visiting the SADC Secretariat in his capacity as SADC chairperson. A statement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the presidents will deliberate on issues of bilateral, regional and international cooperation and reiterate their commitment to the implementation of the outcome of President Lourenço's state visit to Botswana in July 2023. The visit, according to the statement, had included, amongst others, a framework and cooperation in mining, agriculture and livestock, communication, knowledge and technology, transport, tourism and environmental conservation, as well as petroleum and energy, and signing of pending instruments. While in Botswana, President Lourenço will meet with the SADC Executive Secretary, Mr. Elias Mahosi, ambassadors and high commissioners accredited to the Republic of Botswana and SADC, and the SADC Secretariat staff. President Lourenço and his delegation will return to Angola on the same day. The Ministry of Agriculture has delivered a 4.5-ton truck to assist Mephato in the Bubira district. Unofficially handing over the vehicle, the acting district agriculture coordinator, Ms. Chakubingwa Mwatui, acknowledged the efforts and the role of Mephato in controlling the movement of livestock between Botswana and Zimbabwe, citing its significance in reducing the imminent threat of the outbreak and spread of the deadly foot and mouth disease. Karabo Mulusi with the details.
The truck handing over is yet another solution in the list of many provided by the government, culminating from a series of activities dating back to the year 2021, when the President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, committed to resolving the cattle rustling menace between Botswana and Zimbabwe, a journey that Mephato became an integral part of, enhanced by the support from the government. The truck is the second vehicle provided to carry out the duties of Mephato, in addition to the equipment, protective clothing and the Belegeng allowance. The leader of Bubira, Mephato, explains the challenges that prompted the need for a truck.
There
is a serious challenge of theft of cordon fence at the border, and elephants have also destroyed it. The recovered stolen fence in Zimbabwe could make numerous loads on this truck. So the first task for this truck is to transport the fence from Guyo police station in Matebele land back home, so that we can maintain the cordon fence in the meantime while waiting for the durable rod fence from the government. The condition of the cordon fence between Makurani and Robelela is unsettling, but we have temporarily deployed Mephato camps to patrol within the 145 kilometers distance. The main aim is to prevent the outbreak and spread of foot and mouth disease.
kgone go nama ntse re preventa bolwetse ba bathakole molomo bo ile re status go Zimbabwe it's unknown.
Re lebile yone pulo ene gore a ile re ka e share ka dikgomo tse di tang over 3,000 to 4,000 re ile re kgomo ke president Maloba tse di leng over 3,000 gape so re lebile tsone tse mo tsenetse re le ka go sireletsa gore di teditsile.
We are trying to save the available grassland for the livestock that the president gave us recently. The main challenge of shortage of water will be resolved now that the truck is available. However, we still plead for more assistance because we are resolute in our mission to safeguard the livestock of our communities. It came out clearly during the fight against cattle rustling that the Ministry of Agriculture could not deal with the situation single-handedly. Hence the resolution to harness the strength of the collective contribution of various stakeholders.
For the background in the cattle rustling issue in Bubira, the President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, appointed a commission of inquiry in 2022, invited the ambassador of Zimbabwe to Botswana to tour the border and appreciate the situation there. He also engaged with his counterpart, His Excellency Emmerson Mnangagwa, deployment of law enforcement officers at the border and procurement of the specialized patrol vehicles, and the recent livestock restocking exercise that put a smile in the face of Babira. Karabo Mulusi, BTV News, Bubonong.
In a successful democracy as Botswana, the media is not agenda, but a crucial thread that weaves social order as it has the power to shape perceptions, set standards and illuminate the path towards progress. This was said by the Minister for State President, Mr. Kabo Moraing, when addressing senior members of the public media during the Botswana Government Communications Retreat Workshop in Maung. Mpo Aaron reports.
Members of the public media were reminded that their role is not merely to report news, but is actually that of safeguarding the very essence of Botswana as a beacon of democracy and good governance.
Through
your reporting, it demands discipline, focus, and a deep comprehension of the values that underpin our society's leadership and goals. Your grasp of our nation's vision and developmental journey is paramount. Let's remain steadfast in our commitment to truth and impartiality. Exercise caution, diligence, and unwavering dedication to accuracy in our reporting. Minister Moraing also urged the public media to use this retreat to craft a clear and auditable strategy that will set new benchmarks in the coverage of the upcoming general elections. Let's go back with a crafted strategy that transcends ordinary coverage and delivers excellence in reporting the general elections. Let this retreat be an opportunity where your talents are refined, your bonds are strengthened, and your dedication to truth-telling shines brighter than ever before. I have faith in your abilities. I'm certain that your endeavors will not only elevate the public discourse, but also elevate our nation's standings as a stable democracy. May success accompany your every positive endeavor. Permanent Secretary responsible for government communications, Ms. Montanyane Baiti, highlighted that the strength of democracy, the stability of communities, and the vibrance of civic life are intricately linked to freedom, integrity, and above all, a responsible media.
Communication is about managing risk, especially risk associated with image and reputation of our country and civil liberties, which may emanate from how we treat beneficiaries of government policies and programs, and above all, consumers of government services. One thing clear is that the government of Botswana, led by His Excellency the President of the Republic, Dr. Eric Masisi, yearns for service excellence, yearns for change on how we do things, and we are here to come up with a roadmap towards service excellence in election reporting. To us as the public media, service excellence during election time is nothing but ethical and fair reporting.
The 4-day retreat will run under the theme From Headlines to Ballot Boxes. unveiling the role of the public media in elections. Mpho Aaron, BTV News, Mau.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has released a press statement informing the public that His Excellency the President, Dr. Mokgweetsi Masisi, has appointed Major General Mpho Muphuting to be Botswana's envoy to Washington, D.C., the United States of America, while Mr. Yandani Boko is appointed as Botswana's envoy to South Africa, based in Johannesburg. The appointments take place with immediate effect. In other news, the Minister of Minerals and Energy, Mr. Lefoko Moagi, says it is imperative for Botswana to remain competitive and leverage on all available opportunities within the mining sector. Speaking at the inaugural Future of Mining Summit in Gaborone on Wednesday, Mr. Moagi said that challenges in the mining industry keep evolving. Therefore, it is crucial to keep up with such challenges.
According to different reports, Botswana is one of the attractive destinations with enormous mineral wealth. However, the industry continues to be faced by different challenges that requires concerted efforts by all stakeholders to go forward. In 2016, the government put the BCL mine into liquidation due to declining commodity prices in minerals like copper, which led to the closure of some mines locally and internationally. This as one of the many examples of evolving challenges, there is, however, hope with growing demand for copper due to transition into renewable energy by different economies.
To keep the energy transition going, a huge amount of copper wiring will be required for strengthening the world's power grids to build wind and solar farms. Electric vehicles, which are now a rapidly rising source of demand, use over twice as much copper as gasoline-powered vehicles. This is a reminder of just how critical copper has become. As a result of this positive outlook for copper, both in the medium and long term, we have seen investments in copper mines in Botswana in 2023.
The one area that we haven't seen taking center fold is mining companies around the world choosing Botswana as their holding and administration center. We have relevant policies as Botswana, like the International Financial Services Center, which is basically attracting companies of a multinational standing to consider Botswana as a domicile for their holding companies, as well as administration structures that support the group as it operates across multiple countries.
The summit was said to be ideal to get the stakeholders to converse on the most crucial aspects of the industry.
It is paramount that I acknowledge and I commend that this summit is participation of both private and government. If there is any industry where I believe we can make the most economic impact, it is the mining industry. In pursuit of supporting this industry, my ministry focuses on several key areas, including but not limited to enterprise development, citizen economic empowerment, value chain development, identifying new sectors, and of course creating jobs.
This summit was established out of a vision, necessity, and a belief in future potential of our great nation's mining sector. Our goal was clear: to create a dynamic platform where ideas can be shared freely, where collaboration is not just encouraged but expected. If you observe the makeup of our delegates here today, you will see the fruition of our efforts. We have successfully brought together over 15 chief executive officers of leading mining companies under one roof.
Botswana were implored to explore investment opportunities through provided tools like the mining cadastre, which avails all information on the industry. Kelekelezwe, Somolekai, PTV News, Gaborone.
The infrastructure development paving way for the opening of a one-stop border post at the Mamuno border in Charles Hill district is underway, with the construction and refurbishment of staff houses as well as offices at an advanced stage. This was said by the General Manager Shared Services for BURS, Mr. Kenny Labane, at a Khotla meeting in Charles Hill, meant to appease the community on this upcoming development. Angela Enosa.
Talks between the Botswana and Namibian government to have a one-stop border facility at the Mamuno border post in the Charles Hill district started in 2013. Signatures appended on a solid agreement in 2021. Plans are well underway to have this project see the light of day.
Temporary facilities.
We will be refurbishing some of the accommodation facilities for staff in the village. We will also be refurbishing the office space, but we'll be using porta cabins as a temporary measure. We are hopeful that by the second week of July, the temporary porta cabins will be already functional so that the one-stop border post facility be implemented and be used.
One-stop border post.
This one-stop border facility will allow for those traveling between the Botswana and Namibian borders only to have to stop for services once instead of having to stop here in Botswana and also after crossing into Namibia. This will greatly eliminate any inconveniences travelers sometimes face. The residents are implored to use their proximity to the Trans-Kalahari corridor as an advantage to opening up avenues for trade. When developments such as this one are availed to us and catch us napping, it will all be in vain. We have to be found ready to take up such opportunities when they avail themselves. Right now, there's an issue of staff accommodation, and I'm aware that people have been unable to offer enough houses which government can rent from them. Hence, the BURS resorting to renting out lodges instead. Our village is known as the face of the Trans-Kalahari Highway and corridor. We'd like for us as Botswana to take advantage of such developments and use them as motivation to improve our lives. We should own such developments which shine a positive spotlight on us. This one-stop border project augments other efforts by government to ensure seamless movement of goods and services within the region, with other services including the use of national identity cards to cross the Botswana-Namibian border, as well as the border post operating for 24 hours daily. Angela Enosa, BTV News, Charles Hill.
Death row inmate Mang Tsuabe was informed today by the judge of the Gaborone High Court, Justice Barnabas Nyamazabu, that he will be sentenced in August 2024 in a case in which he is accused of murdering 2 people. Ungutule Tamahe with more.
In May 2022, Mang Tsuabe was sentenced to death by hanging by Francistown High Court Judge Lord Moroka for murdering his ex-girlfriend's mother, Sadi Khositsile. Before his first case came to a conclusion, Tsuabe committed another offense on the 1st of December 2016 in Francistown while being transported to prison from court, where he wrestled for the steering wheel of a prison's vehicle they were transported in, swinging it and leading to the vehicle overturning, in the process killing a police officer and 1 inmate. Judge Lord Moroka also sentenced Tsuabe to 75 years imprisonment for 5 attempted murders and also sentenced him to 5 years imprisonment for arson and 5 years for malicious damage. In December last year, death row inmate Tsuabe admitted guilt to 2 further counts of murder and 4 attempted murder, and the court said it was convinced that Tsuabe had malice aforethought and no legal defense in all the counts he is accused of. The last witness in this case, who is a psychologist at Botswana Prison Services, informed the court that Tsuabe is headlined and they had a total of 13 counseling sessions from 2021 to date. The witness informed the court that her assessment on the accused person showed that Ntsuape had anger issues at the time of committing the offences. She indicated that in their therapy sessions, Ntsuape was remorseful and wished to meet the people he offended. Judge Nyamazabo then informed the death row inmate Ntsuape that he will pass his sentence on the 2 murder offences before court on the 15th of August 2024. Before sentencing, the prosecution and the defense counsel are expected to file their final submissions. Ungutlethamage, BTV News, Gaborone High Court.
The chairperson of the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Agriculture, who is also the Member of Parliament for Kalahari South, Mr. Sam Brooks, expressed concern over various setbacks stalling the opening of the Zabo multi-species abattoir, pointing out that to date the construction costs have exceeded the budget of 161 million initially given for the projects.
2021, the contractor still failed to complete the job after various extensions and the lockdowns were lifted.
That this very government said to Botswana,
this project has to be completed as the government promised to provide residents of Kalahari and beyond with a lucrative market for their livestock. But those who overseen this project are failing to deliver.
No, we have to be very honest. If somebody's sleeping on his job, we have to know.
Madi ya ka re kgaogana nabo a na ntsheditswe kontrakana a hefile finished ga gona le ga e le thebe e o setseng mo e leng gore lona ya ka ga le ile sa fitse gore go a go bulwa leng go a go tlhokagala eng.
For this project to be completed, we need at least 30 million.
Re lebile mme ka ga re boneng ka teng le one madi a na a umakiwa a 30 million go heleletsa re bone gore ga ke madi a leka.
Yeah, this excavation is estimated at around 35 million, inclusive of the borehole who connect because they were not part of the scope. Let the soil, later increase in free.
We need extra money for a borehole, solar plant, and to cover costs of transporting goods.
We still have to value them. With the extension of time, we have never issued them extension of time with cost because we have to sit down and analyze it. This is where we are.
Zabo multi-species abattoir is expected to improve the lives of people in the district. There is a shortcut from Hukunzi to Zabon that can be used to deliver livestock easily to the abattoir, but it is not tarred. We'll go back to Parliament and report our experiences, and especially that roads have to be repaired so farmers can access the abattoir. Botswana Meat Commission is set to operate Zabo multi-species abattoir, which is expected to slaughter 300 small stock and 60 cattle per day. BTV News, Zabong.
The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, in partnership with a consortium of development partners, are seeking government endorsement on the Sustainable Wildlife Management Program, legal and institutional framework to enable communities living with wildlife to improve their lives in the Kavango-Zambezi Transboundary Conservation Area for Sustainable Wildlife Management. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Wildlife and Tourism, Watametse Mudukanele, said the legal hub seeks to address challenges of human-wildlife conflict and illegal wildlife trade. Mpo Kilebuche with the report.
The government, in collaboration with the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization, is committed to working with development partners in implementation of the legal hub under the Sustainable Wildlife Management Program. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Wildlife and Tourism, Boatemetse Modukaneng, said the Sustainable Wildlife Program is an ambitious global partnership initiative which aims to address critical issues at the intersection of wildlife conservation, food security, and sustainable livelihoods.
We believe that a project such as this one will go a long way in ensuring that we reach that objective. And the legal and institutional framework are very important in ensuring our future sustenance of our natural resources. Therefore, what we are gathered here today and all the work that we have been doing over the past months is very critical. We should know that what we are doing here, we are building something for the next generation.
The Sustainable Wildlife Management Program will help community conservancies working with government to strengthen community governance and leadership. At the field level, the aim is to build local enterprise projects, improve livestock production, and strengthen sustainable wildlife management.
We call upon the government and the other stakeholders to really partner with us to replicate more of those initiatives across the country. And as I have mentioned earlier, this initiative aligns perfectly with the FAO strategic objective, such as enhancing food security and, of course, livelihoods, promoting practices that balance conservation with the sustainable use of wildlife, and also ensuring that local communities benefit directly from those resources. And this is really very important.
I think this is a very important piece of legislation that is going to help us, particularly the community and all the stakeholders, start seeing ourselves in a different way in terms of how we can implement the programs and what needs to be reviewed in the law so that it will enable us to proceed or to go forward with the projects that we want to implement.
The overall goal of the sustainable wildlife management in CASA countries like Botswana, Namibia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe is to support and strengthen community conservancies meant to promote socio-economic sustainability. Paul Kilebore, BTV News, Gaborone.
Meanwhile, the president of Botswana Association of Tribal Land Authorities, Batla, Mr. Kang, has encouraged members of the organization to commit to delivering land allocation services to the people, especially those who live in remote areas. Mr. Kang was speaking at a workshop held in Kanye to facilitate members on land governance and their performance to improve service delivery to Botswana.
Mr. Khan says of recent land boards have seen improvements in some of their services, such as land mapping, because of technical developments that have eased many of their processes. The department has so far demonstrated its commitment to optimal service delivery due to support and motivation from government. We are now gearing towards range and business land allocations, as people have been asking when it will take place in the Mwagetse area. But we failed to inform them that the system has since changed, as now we have to transfer the land to Mwagetse Land Board first before the land can be allocated to the applicants. The Mwagetse Land Board chairperson, Mr. Bobby Tabiwe, says the department's continued labor towards this effort has so far been evident in their region, as they've managed to reach the milestone target from the government.
In this room, you are having a very good group of people that are committed to the cause, and I can even take this opportunity and liberty indeed to say that men and women who are actually eagerly waiting for the next milestone. They are waiting for it. Had the budget targeting with la resolve.
go nne le a deliberate effort e leng gore ka yone go tla nna le audit go tsana thorough assessment go bo go nne le review ya gore mme gone a dipolasi tse di ntsha maungo go tsana di ungwela le hatse jaaka ha ke le tsone le gore go tle go nne mo maikeelong a tsone
dilenteboto ra sokola yaanong ko re ithusa ka
Landboards are facing financial challenges. We receive some income from land rentals, but this is not enough. Therefore, my request is for the department to be allowed to come up with other ways of raising funds.
tsa di mai mme ga go a lekana a re ka sekiri dire gore dilenteboto ha di leng teng di ka itirela letseno ka tsela nngwe e ba ka e bona.
Botswana have been urged to assist landlords to continue in their efforts of allocating land by desisting from actions that can stall the process, such as individuals who apply for many plots in different areas, as well as those who keep selling the land they are allocated and reapplying thereafter. Gesego Fetse Makwinja, BTV News, Kanye.
South Africa's parliament is due to elect a president on Friday, and major political parties are still ironing out the final details of a coalition deal that may or may not allow Cyril Ramaphosa to return for a second term as president of the most industrialized economy in Africa. Mr. Ramaphosa's party, the African National Congress, ANC, said it would hold a meeting of its top officials in Cape Town this evening, just 12 hours before Parliament meets in the city and begins the process. South Africa has been in a political impasse since the ANC lost its 30-year majority in an election 2 weeks ago, forcing it to reach out to other parties to find some form of government in order to co-govern. The ANC's priority is to re-elect Mr. Ramaphosa, but it will need the support from other lawmakers as it no longer has a parliamentary majority. 18 political parties are represented in the South African Parliament for this 5-year term, from the ANC with 159 seats to the Pan-African Congress of Azania, the Good Party and the United Africans Transformation Party with 1 seat each. In other news from the continent, Malawi's Vice President Dr. Saulos Chilima will be honored with a state funeral after he died in a plane crash with 9 others. President Lazarus Chikwara announced 21 days of national mourning after the wreckage of a small military plane carrying Chilima and a former First Lady was discovered in a mountainous area. Ministerial committee has been appointed to oversee Chilima's state funeral preparations. The plane went missing in a hilly forested area in bad weather, with 6 passengers and 3 military crew members killed. Coming back home, the council chairman for Good Hope District, Mr. Fanki Mutsatebe, is hopeful the introduction of pre-vocational modules in the senior secondary schools will help improve academic results at Good Hope Senior Secondary School. When addressing the Good Hope Full Council this week, Mr. Mutsatebe said that he believes learners will perform better when they pursue subjects in line with their career choices. The Ministry of Education and Skills Development introduced the outcome-based education program in the current cohort of the Form 4 learners, where they choose subjects according to their interests and capabilities. Lone Sekobo.
Following the Ministry of Education's introduction of the outcome-based education program, Mr. Mutsatebe said they are expecting better results from Good Hope Senior School, as the current Form 4 students have started the curriculum and have chosen subjects according to their interests and capabilities.
Following the introduction of the new curriculum in our senior secondary schools, Form 4s have started using the curriculum under the outcome-based education program. They have chosen subjects according to their interests and capabilities.
Introduce these modules
The introduction of pre-vocational subjects will change the Good Hope Senior School academic results because students will be doing what they love and interested in and passionate about.
Those modules.
On other issues, Good Hope District Council continues to ensure that there is economic growth in their district, as well as improving lives by bringing developments such as roads infrastructure, which is critical in the district and country's economic growth.
Mabula Sekutane Road has completely lost the gravel layer, resulting in a loss of riding quality, thus escalating vehicle operating costs. The road is currently marked for upgrading to bitumen standards this financial year.
Councillors were encouraged to come up with ideas that could help develop and improve lives of their communities, and mostly urged to encourage the society to adopt and benefit from government programs aiming at human and social development. Lone Sekobo, BTV News, Good Hope.
It is time for sport with Liza Oseke. Liza?
Jimena Khomoso, how are you?
I'm well, ma'am. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Khomoso Mapani. Good evening. I am Liza Oseke with your World of Sport. And in our first story this evening, Botswana Table Tennis Association President Kuzana Motswakgole says they will continue to intensify their efforts of developing the sport in Botswana and also come up with various programs of development to ensure self-sustainability. Motswakgole said this following their promotion to Tier 1 in the BNSC funding tier system. Khomoso Sefako has the details.
After demonstrating the ability to develop talent, achievement of success in continental and global stage, and effectively managing its resources by the association, the promotion to Tier 1 underscores the dedication and the hard work of BTTA and its athletes. Motswakgole said maintaining the status will require sustained effort and innovation.
Re tshwanetse gore yaanong re nne self-sustainable re ikemele ka di-program tsa rona re se ka ra thola re le thata mo pusong.
We need to be self-sustained with our own programs and not rely only on the government for assistance. As elevation to Tier 1 now means we are a high-impact association, and such we need to create jobs.
Tier 1 tota basically ke di high impact National Sports Association impact mo economy. So khankgolo ke gore re tshwanetse gore aborele one of the employment creators.
Motswakgole said there are programs that they are aiming to improve and develop further as they aim to professionalize the sport in Botswana.
Santa ke go address the current situation ka kanya the monthly competitions still gore our prize money they are way above the minimum wage. Basically gora gore re hirile batho yala pharologanyo gore ga ba signa contract ka sports o tshwanetse o wine pele gore go to o winne madi mme se se leng teng ke gore kgwedi le kgwedi madi ao a teng thanks to Phoenix Assurance Botswana ka bona ba sponsorang those tournaments. Sa bobedi ke kganya gore we want to deal with the future. Re na le intensified grassroots development programs still gore re ruta bana go tsweng go preschool.
The journey from Tier 4 to the pinnacle of Botswana sporting hierarchy has been fueled by the relentless commitment and strategic partnerships.
Total ntakgolo ke relationship management le kganya gore sa nthela ke gore o kokote o bulelwe whatever so ka se hiwang dirisa sone se.
The most important part of having lasting relationship is dependable on how you manage and maintain it. Most sponsors want to see value for their money, which basically means you have to build trust with sponsors and partners.
Maintain dira gore so se hilweng motho a bone value ya sone.
BTTA said they are poised to capitalize on this promotion and to cement its status among the nation's elite sporting codes. Khomoso Sefako, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Orange Botswana communications specialist Khomolemo Rapalai says preparations for the Orange FA Cup Season 5 edition are at an advanced stage. Rapalai also expressed the gratitude towards Botswana Football Association for their tremendous support during their partnership. Katlego Khakole.
Rapalai further said that this year's edition of the Bopaskeleme Finals will be held in Francistown in order to appreciate football lovers in the northern part of the country, adding that it will be a milestone for them as the prize monies will be much better for all the participating teams compared to the previous 4 editions.
The prize money has increased. The runners-up will be walking away with 400,000 pula, and then the champions of the season are walking away with 800,000 pula. But in addition to that, the different categories, obviously, like we had mentioned, are the individual prize money. If you would allow, our player of the tournament will be walking away with 50,000 pula. Top goal scorer working away with 30,000 pula. Goalkeeper of the tournament 20,000 pula. Renale coach of the tournament 20,000 pula. And then in addition to that, Renale referee of the tournament 20,000 pula, assistant referee of the tournament 20,000 pula.
For their part, the Botswana Football Association noted that following a 3-year extension of their partnership with Orange Botswana last year, they are now in the 2nd year and all is well between the two parties. She also added that their hope is to continue working together with the esteemed mandate of developing football in Botswana.
I would say, our relationship has been exciting, and I've seen Orange taking the property as their own. They really owned the property, and they've steered it and made sure. And we really love it, the partnership, and it has ensured. Like I said, when we started, now they brought the people back, and they're seeing this multitude. And commercialization is all about numbers.
We've seen growth in football. We have not had any challenges in BFA, or rather in our partnership with BFA. We've seen an incident-free tournament this season. Even last season was the same. So like you're saying, even for next season, we're expecting and obviously even after that, as our contract is, or not saying it's coming to an end, but it will talk obviously we sit down and then get back to the drawing table tournament for future upcoming times.
The Orange FA Cup Season 5 finals, which will pit Orapa United against Jwaneng Galaxy, is built for Obetitani Chilume Stadium this Saturday and promises to be different, as some of its goodies include the #1 supporter of the tournament, which will be a brand new feature since the tournament's first edition. Katlego Khakole, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
And that is it for sport this evening. Khomozo Mapane is standing by to give us a reminder of our top stories.
Thank you so much, Liza. Let's meet again next time, ma'am.
Tomorrow, mate.
Have yourself a fantastic evening. That was Liza Osikeng giving us the latest in sport. And let's take a final look at stories leading the way this evening. Government intensifies security at the Botswana-Zimbabwe borderline in the Bubira region. Delays in the completion of the Zabung Abattoir worries Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Agriculture. And in sport, preparations for the finals of the Orange FA Cup are slated for the weekend, going as planned. That's all that we had for you in our news bulletin this evening. BTV News Iganyarona, #BW Mindset Change Archinching.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather forecast brought to you by Lydia Wajikhomo. Looking at the current satellite image, clear skies are visible over the entire country. Tomorrow, expecting clear skies over the entire country. In the morning, we're expecting very cold temperatures over northeast with 0 degrees Celsius over Francistown. Over Ngamiland, we're expecting mild temperatures with 8 degrees Celsius over most areas. Also expecting cold temperatures between 2 and 7 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, expecting warm temperatures over Ngamiland, Chobe, and Northern Central with highs of 26 degrees Celsius over most areas. Also expecting mild temperatures between 22 and 24 degrees Celsius. Now the forecast for this weekend over South and Southeast Gauteng and Kweni, expecting clear skies on both Saturday and Sunday with mild temperatures in the afternoons. Hansi and Khalga district, we're expecting clear skies this weekend with mild temperatures in the afternoons. Chobe and Gamile district, we're expecting clear skies on both Saturday and Sunday with mild temperatures in the afternoons. Central and northeast, we're expecting clear skies on Saturday, while on Sunday, we're expecting patches of clouds with mild temperatures in the afternoons. That's the weather forecast. Good night.